Hey everybody, how's it going? All right. I see a lot of people who might heckle me here in the crowd today. Real quickly, I just wanted to give you guys a quick introduction to myself, and we'll get the folks from Hitachi. I'm Adam Ball. I'm a Teams MVP and a solutions architect for ConvergeOne, and I'm going to let the folks from Hitachi introduce themselves as well.
Hi there. My name is Carol Roberts, and I am the IT voice manager globally for Hitachi Vantara.
Hi, my name is Curtis Gabrud, and I'm the UC engineer for Hitachi Vantara.
Awesome. And today what we're going to go through, as you can read on the screen, is why Hitachi is using direct routing as they move forward with Teams and why they're using Teams. So hopefully you're here for the right session at this point. I know a lot of them have been changing around and everything like that. So we'll move on to the first one. So Carol, real quickly, what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of moderate this so you guys can hear from Carol and from Curtis here. Carol, if you could give me a quick little background on Hitachi and who you guys are and how big you are and everything.
Sure, that'd be great. Thank you. So we are Hitachi Vantara. As you can see, we're about 10,000 employees. We are in about 100 countries, and as a team, we support about 125 sites globally. And we've been in this business for a long time. We'll be in this business for much longer, and that's about it.
All right, fantastic. I know a lot of people have probably heard your name. Mm-hmm. I mean, Hitachi, how many people, everybody knows Hitachi, right? You guys have all heard it, all right. Real quickly, from that standpoint, sure. I like that guy's enthusiasm. Yeah. So what we want to do is, can you just kind of talk through, we got one slide here really quickly sure. about who Vantara is, because when I first started working with you guys, you weren't Vantara at that point. Mm-hmm. And so you guys were actually a few different companies. So if you can give us a quick glimpse.
That's right. Yeah, thank you. This is a great story, and this is why I say we've been here for a long time, and we're going to be here for a while longer. We're actually, Hitachi Vantara is a combination of 3 different companies. We're a combination of HDS, which I'm sure a lot of people here, anybody heard of HDS in the room? There we go. Right. Thank you. Pentaho and Lumada. And the idea is that we brought together these companies to create a new type of company that could take advantage of the data that we were already working with, which I think comes together on the next screen here. Yep. There we go. So what we really did is HDS was a hardware-based company. We took some other companies, Pentaho, Lumada, which were embedded with analytics, and put those together. And what I'd really like to point out is this OT-IT expertise, which is bringing those 2 items together and allowing companies that actually own their own data to help enable them with business outcomes using their own insights from that data.
Awesome. Yeah, and as you guys can tell, I mean, just within this, lots of different people coming from lots of different backgrounds, so lots of different business problems to solve as you combine these businesses, right? Yep. Not everybody's using the same platforms. Not everybody's using the same back end. So, so hopefully we'll see some of these things as we come together today. Yep. of why. And
I do want to point out, I'm sorry, as you look at these little bubbles, you can see how many of these align with what you see today in this expo hall. So there's a really nice alignment between what Microsoft is doing and what Hitachi Vantara is doing.
All right, so now we get into the thick of it. We wanted to make sure you guys all knew who they were, why all this stuff matters, because as we start to talk through what are the reasonings to go to Teams and direct routing, it's important to know where they're coming from, right? So really quickly, oh, all right. Evidently I hit the button to move it forward, or there's a weird timing. So Curtis, really what I wanted to talk about is what are some of the business cases, what are some of the business problems that you guys have been facing as you've combined these companies and as you guys have moved forward that have created this desire and this urge to look towards where Teams and direct routing is going?
Yeah, so thank you. We started out with actually multiple different systems, especially as these companies are coming together. So consolidating onto Link 2013 being our big push, and then of course when Skype for Business came out, we noticed that we were having some issues, one of them being our Mac users, and that ended up going back down to our executives.
Yeah, so how many people here back in the Link days used the original Link client for Mac? How many people really enjoyed that experience? Yeah, I saw all the hands go down. I mean, it got better, right, with Skype for Business. The new Skype for Business Mac client's a lot better, but I think the Teams client is we're seeing that really advance there. So,
yeah, as of right now, we're actually seeing a lot of adoption with just our Mac users and Teams in general. And then also leveraging our existing platforms with SBC's audio codes in that sense.
Yeah. So yeah, really quickly, I see the audio codes guys back there, John and all of them raising their hands. So you guys can go talk to them. But really quickly, I wanted to go back one step because something that we didn't talk about here is, I know we've talked about in the past privately, is that you guys have a lot of your executives who use mobile devices, specifically iOS. How has that been transforming when you guys look at Teams? And that experience?
Well, since we've been moving to Teams, I'm not getting as many calls. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's been actually a great experience. It's a seamless experience between that desktop client and, of course, the mobile app itself.
Okay. Yeah, because I know one of the things you said, you guys have a lot of executives who like to take meetings from their iPads, right? I'm sure most of you guys see the same things, right? Where people, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I take meetings from my phone just because of the fact that I'm always mobile, right? So, and I'm sure your executives are no different. So.
Exactly right. Yeah.
All right. So you kind of went into that existing SBC environment. I know that where you guys sit today, you guys have a lot of audio codes deployed everywhere across. I mean, Carol, you mentioned you guys are in 100 countries, 125 locations. What are some of those things? Like, I know we've talked about you've got calling plans out there and available. Why not? I mean, you guys obviously have this big thing. Talk about your carrier situation. Like, what do you have across that?
Yeah, so what this does is it lets us leverage the current audio code systems that we have deployed and in place today. And it keeps the control with us at reusing our current dial plans and all of our phone structure. So there's not a huge change to the end users during this process. And that's the key point of actually moving them into Teams while leveraging our current audio codes.
Yeah, and one of the things you told me is that you have a carrier for the most part that covers worldwide for you. So now you've got economies of scale just within that carrier, so you're not worrying about minutes, things like that. You've got numbers from around the globe that you're getting from that, and you don't have to worry about, hey, how do I align this move for this user with a number port or anything like that.
That's right? Exactly right. Like, porting numbers is always a pain. Here it's a lot easier in the United States, but of course when you go globally, it's a little bit more time consuming and there's a lot more coordination there. So it is a key point to make sure that you keep that as a seamless transition for us.
Yeah, absolutely. How many people are kind of in that same boat? Like, hey, we've already got an infrastructure, or we're debating calling plans. Kind of, all right, so a few folks in there. Hopefully this is good stuff for you guys of why within it. So what we wanted to do next, so you guys have heard, these are the business problems that Hitachi has been dealing with, right? As they kind of come together with these plans. What we wanted to talk about now is kind of how do we move forward and where are we going? And so we wanted to talk about a little bit of our direct routing POC that we're working with Hitachi on, and kind of go through how we're working with them to set them up for success as well. One of the things the first thing that we're doing, and the first thing that we're working with Carol and Curtis on here, is really on these design sessions, covering what does it look like, what does that architecture look like, how does it interact with your current stuff. And Curtis, really quickly, I want to get your point here on this. As we look at those plans, you guys still have some outlying systems, right? So as we look at this, how does that impact that?
So, I mean, really what we're doing is we're starting to develop that SD-WAN. And our network is really key to this infrastructure and making sure that we can actually supply this direct routing for our end users as the end game.
Yeah.
But for us, it's using that existing SD-WAN and actually helping the cost and also controlling the ingress and egress of our current sites.
Yeah, and also as we look at those plans, are we going to are you guys looking to eliminate any other systems like third-party systems that may be out there?
I mean, if it's not an upgrade. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, awesome. One of the other things that as we go forward and what we see in this is always a high touch support, right? And one of the things that we have the ability to do right here and right now is that as we move forward, right, by working together, we can actually take things and give feedback to the product group. We can go back and give those feedback. So we've got a lot of high touch support going forward with Hitachi as we move forward. I know you guys have been working with your TSP very tightly on this, and so as we move forward, how do we provide that? Because I know that's a key piece for you guys, and I know when we did the Link 2013 rollout, that high touch support, we actually had a term that they called them back in the day the apostles, right? But we actually, it was those core evangelists. So as we look through those high touch support, what does that mean to you guys?
For us, it's just being able to actually have something reliable, sustainable in our environment, and having the support to actually push this and really get this moved out as soon as possible. We're currently trying to move 2 teams as
Right.
we're moving out this voice infrastructure, and the support piece has always been a large question. How do we support something that's kind of evolving?
Yeah.
And getting that type of support, especially as a partner, as a plan, is exactly what we're going for.
Yeah, awesome. Just so you guys know, we're actually starting with 2 sites. We're starting with one in the US and one in the UK. And going back to that point earlier of calling plans are in both locations. So we had to make those choices early on. Why direct routing? And so you could see back to that business case of we already have the infrastructure, we already have that stuff there. So it made a lot of sense to kind of continue down that path versus going down the porting. And so again, hence with that leveraging of the audio codes, SBCs. All right, I know we only have a few more minutes here beforehand, and if there's questions at the end, we're happy to take those. So from that standpoint, we wanted to talk about how we're making sure Hitachi's set up for success as we move forward. Number one thing here is network assessments as we move forward. Curtis, you touched on the SD-WAN, but one of the things that as we look forward is how do we help ensure that we have good voice quality? How many people have rolled out a system like Link or Skype before and had a bad user experience because of Wi-Fi or something or at the network layer, right? Users don't care that it's a network, right? They don't see that it's the network. They don't go, man, that Skype call was terrible. The network must have just been acting up today. No, they automatically think that it was the application they were using, and perception is always the hardest issue that we face. We can fix technical issues, right? If, hey, we need to turn that knob a little bit differently, that's easy for us to fix, but perception, we only get one really good chance to roll it out. And so this big thing of network assessments is the first piece of that, right? Next, and Hitachi has always done a great job. Sorry, do you have a point?
Well, and the network assessment is really there to help our network team and get them involved in the UC deployment, okay? Because I'm part of the network team here at Hitachi as well. And I'll tell you, the biggest thing is making sure that they're also involved in this deployment of the UC products.
Yeah, oh, that's a good point, making sure everybody's involved. The next thing, and this is something that I got to see from you guys back when we did Link 2013, Hitachi does a great job with this, but when we come together for this adoption strategy and planning, this is key because as we understand those personas, those workflows, what are we trying to do with this? It's not, Carol and Curtis, you're not going to just go and say, hey, user Jane Doe, here's Teams, best of luck. Like that's not what we're looking to do. That's not setting up for success. So what we're going to see there is, hey, we're going to make sure that persona, as we go into the pilot, matches the workloads that teams can support today. So, Carol, you have a comment?
Yeah, I did. I just wanted to say that along with partnering with our sister team on the networking side, which we're very lucky to be working so closely with them and to have such enthusiastic partners, it's that change management piece, which I'm sure that everybody here has been hearing about or using in your own organization. So that to us is going to be just as fundamental, that change management piece, as is any of the technical aspects that we have.
Yeah, perfect. Sorry, checking time here. We got 4 minutes. Goes by fast. So the next thing is as we go through that, we got to make sure that all the users have the right devices. I've seen too often where people get handed handed voice, right? And I know you guys are ahead of the curve here because you guys have been using Link and Skype for Business, but even as we move forward, we still want to make sure that they have a certified device. This is really important, especially as they go mobile. I'm probably certain a lot of your executives who have their iOS devices still use their AirPods or whatnot, but we want to make sure they have the right devices, whether that be headset, handset, whatever, so that they get the best experience there. And then lastly, we're going to be coming behind you guys so my company, ConvergeOne, we're going to come together to help provide that tier 2, tier 3 support. So your tier 1 guys are still going to go out, work on the desktop, make sure it's not a desktop issue, but when those issues arrive during those pilot, you've got a team to work with you that's going to also be able to work with Microsoft and kind of find out what's happening, where are we going, those kinds of things. So as we kind of come to an end here with the last 2 or 3 minutes, I'd really like to kind of pose it out to both of you guys. If you guys, as you talk to these folks who are kind of curious why you are doing it, as you guys were planning this, what would be 1 or 2 key things that you would say they should be looking at or considering, or what are their takeaways?
Yeah, so the one thing that I would definitely mention is you got to have a plan. And making this plan, especially for an application that's evolving the way it is, you got to make sure that you do partner up with somebody, or at least, partnership is probably the most key to understanding exactly how to do this, what's the best route, who's actually had this experience, and make sure that you follow those steps. It's kind of eliminating those pain points right off the bat before you get deep dived right into the voice structure.
Carol, do you have anything?
Thanks. I would say just to know what success looks like for you, for your company, so that you can accurately show what you're doing for your end game. And the other thing is just to touch again on change management, such an important piece of this. It's, what we're doing is really to enable the users. It's to enable them to work better, work faster, whatever it is. And in order to do that, that change management piece is essential.
Yeah, those are great points. Really quickly, I want to make sure, because people, if you're not working with Microsoft directly, one of the things you might not know about is Microsoft has invested a lot in their change management components. They actually have customer success managers out there. I know our company has actually invested in our own customer success managers, going through that same certification, so that we can work with customers like Hitachi, and that they're hearing the same kind of thing from Microsoft and from us. And we're out there talking. I love the fact that you said, hey, from a partnership that really do love that guy's enthusiasm. But from that standpoint of partnering, of being able to see things, I've sat with 2 other customers this month alone, and we've been able to kind of say, hey, for customers your size and doing things similar to you or in similar positions as you, here's what's going on, and that's really important. I know I could see that this is right at about the 20-minute mark here on the, so I'm getting told to wrap this up within it. What we'll do is we'll stick around if folks have questions as far as it goes. If folks want to know more about ConvergeOne as a partnership as well, this is us. We're across the U.S. and across the globe. We've got folks all over, but we'd love to talk to you as well. And I'm absolutely here to sit here and talk as an MVP and as a partner with Hitachi. So with that, thank you guys.